It is playoff time, and teams are vying for a spot in their sectional finals. Welcome into Friday Football Fever. I'm Joey Glauber. We begin in Division II and a rematch from the final week of the regular season. Many here in Chicopee wondering whether tonight is the night that someone will finally get the better of the Agawam Brownies. They'll be here to take on the Chicopee Comp Colts in what is the biggest game of the season thus far. The NBA Finals living up to the hype in Game 1. The two superstars at the center of this series combining for 70 points, putting fans on the edge of their seats in Oakland. Golden State in the finals for the first time in 40 years, while the Cavs are trying to snap a 50-year championship drought for the entire city of Cleveland. So here's a look at Game 1 by the numbers. The winner of Game 1 has a 48-20 record in the rest of the series in NBA Finals history. LeBron's teams have struggled when they haven't gotten on the board first in Game 1. Things aren't getting any easier for Sox fans this spring. This morning, Boston has completed their fourth three-game losing streak in the month of May. It was a tough end to an incredible season for Agawam tonight. Despite falling short in the title game, it will be one that the Brownies will not soon forget. It's a team with plenty of stars, but even they will tell you it's the guys who paved the way that make the difference. And here in Springfield, East Longmeadow has a 15-0 lead in the second quarter against Putnam. A lot of football to be played, and right now only a sprinkle after I said that torrential rain moved through. So let's hope it holds off. New details this morning on the NFL investigation into whether the Patriots deflated footballs in Sunday's AFC Championship win against the Colts. Goodell maintains that no one, to his knowledge, saw the video before Monday, but many are concerned this morning about the close ties between Goodell, Rooney, and Mara, who are overseeing this investigation. So, Tom, that's the latest. Back to you. It was an ending that you wouldn't believe unless you saw it. Too perfect, even for a Hollywood script. Derek Jeter went out in style in his last game at Yankee Stadium last night, and his 11,187th at-bat began, as they all have, with former Yankees announcer Bob Shepard's famous call.
Now batting for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
And the Ohio State Buckeyes are the first national champions of the playoff era.
The sounds of celebration for the Buckeye faithful as they bring home their 8th national championship against the Oregon Ducks. But it wasn't an easy road for Ohio State. They needed some blowout wins to even get into the inaugural playoff. Then they faced the top 2 teams in the country, all with their third-string quarterback at the helm. From the season's first snap to the final whistle of Friday's practice, it's all been about one thing for the Chicopee Comp Colts.
It's kind of been our main goal since the start of this year.
Going out there and showing, Chicopee Comp, getting our names on the map.
It's a feat that seemed at times unthinkable.
I mean, we're a small place, Chicopee. I mean, not a lot of people hear of us.
At other times, improbable.
No Western Mass team has ever pulled off a state championship.
Now it's a prize that's just 4 quarters away, but the work is far from over.
Don't tackle the bag. Stay low. Stay low.
On Saturday, the Comp Colts take the field against the Holliston Panthers, who rode an undefeated record through the state semifinals, making them the 4th-ranked team in the state, a team that, like the Colts, aren't afraid to air it out.
We pretty much realized that we're playing ourselves, and we need to basically do what any other team would have to do to prepare for us.
They're a beatable team. I know that they're undefeated, but I mean, Agawam was an undefeated team. We came out there and we proved, Chicopee Comp's capable of anything. You can beat an undefeated team.
And their offense lies in the more than capable hands of quarterback Trevor Johnson, who led all of Western Mass in pass yards and touchdowns this year. But the junior quarterback doesn't pick favorites, according to first-year head coach Tony Couture.
You never know whose turn it's going to be to make a big play. We think we go pretty deep into the roster, down to a T. Each and every one of them know that they could be the one that makes a big play that wins us a football game.
But more often than not, Johnson's passes find their way into the hands of senior captain wide receiver Cam Kagan, who led Western Mass in receptions and hauled in 10 of Johnson's 32 touchdown passes on the year. So while Coach Couture gives his players no rest, Kagan decides to give opposing defenses no rest in return.
It's more of tiring them out to the point where they can't even keep up with us and they need subs every single play. We want them off the field, and we take advantage of the spots that are getting subbed for.
In order to keep that fast-paced offense moving, everyone from the coach to the quarterback to the assistants swapping out footballs on the sideline have to be on the same page.
Everyone's like, oh, they don't think of the little key factors. Like, a lot of people don't think of the offensive line. I mean, a lot of people don't think of the guys on the sideline that are doing the little things that count the most.
For every single one of them, it's about Holliston,
and the 44 minutes of football that will decide who takes home the Division IV state championship.
For me personally, I'm going to try to block everything out. You know, it's going to be hard because you're playing at Gillette, all the people.
Definitely just relax. I mean, I watch more film on them while I'm up there. I mean, every second you can get of watching your opposing team is going to help.
Regardless of the Colts' fate at Gillette Stadium, the 2015 season will be one for the books.
You know, win or lose, they've taken this program to new heights. You know, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be great plays. You know, we just have to stay focused and play a good, hard game.
For Western Mass News, I'm Joey Glauber.
Well, they're ready. Chickadee Comp faces Holliston at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon at Gillette Stadium. It's one of 4 state title games being played in Foxborough tomorrow.
Time for your sports news, and the Patriots have faced some familiar foes in this year's playoff. But fortunately, recent history has gone New England's way against the Indianapolis Colts. And Tom Brady would make sure it stayed that way with a trip to Super Bowl 49 on the line last night. Used some unfamiliar targets early on to build a lead. First quarter finds fullback James Devlin for a 1-yard score. Pats up 14. Now take a look at this. Pats used some trickery. They line up 4 guys on the right side of the center. On the left side, just 2 guys, but number 77 is an eligible receiver. Offensive tackle Nate Solder sneaks out for the touchdown catch of 16 yards on 3rd and 1, and the Colts would not score a single point in the second half as the Pats win it 45-7. Brady talked about making his 6th Super Bowl appearance after the game.
We've got a lot of good teams in the past. You know, this one is going to have to, win a very important game to kind of leave our legacy. So we got 2 weeks to prepare for it, playing a great team.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, you got to have a good team, and there's all the components of it. I mean, one guy can't win in this league. All one guy can do is do his job, and Tom does his job as well as anybody. I mean, I'm so thankful that he's our quarterback, and there's nobody I'd rather have. He does everything well.
And Brady also became the all-time yardage leader in the playoffs with more than 7,000 passing Peyton Manning. And the Patriots will be tested on February 2nd against the defending champion Seattle Seahawks. But things did not come easy for the Seahawks against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC title game yesterday. Green Bay had a 16-0 halftime lead, but with 2 minutes to play, Seattle would have to go for an onside kick. Down by 5, the ball comes up to Brandon Bostic, and he cannot grab it. Seattle would take over. This game would eventually go to overtime. That's when Russell Wilson would make up for his 4 interceptions with that. The game-winning 35-yard touchdown to Jermaine Kearse. The Seahawks punched their ticket to Super Bowl 49, and it spelled heartbreak for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
This one's going to hurt for a while because of the close proximity to feeling that feeling when the clock hits 0 and you're ahead, and we gave it away.
Seattle will now prepare for Tom Brady and the Patriots on February 1st. The teams have only faced each other once in the last 5 years, and that's when Seattle got a 1-point regular season victory back in 2012. And returning to Foxborough now, some bizarre allegations coming out of last night's game. An Indianapolis station, WTHR, reports that the NFL is looking into claims that the Patriots staff deflated footballs during last night's game. While it likely had little or no bearing on the outcome, it's a violation that could lead to the loss of draft picks. But these reports just coming out overnight, getting a lot of reaction on social media, really bizarre. And a lot of people wondering, what that's all about. But unlikely to have any bearing on the Super Bowl.
And as Dan said, even if it was a beach ball, Garrett Blount's going to run for 200.
Right.
The scoring margin was so wide, it doesn't matter.
Precisely.
Probably.